I want us to think about what we're asking these kids to do, okay? We're asking a teenager that doesn't have the frontal lobe developed, is very impulsive, very reactive, learned behaviors. So we're asking them to take a really hard look at themselves in the mirror and address themselves for who they are and understand why they do what they do. And let's talk about some coping strategies and some skill sets so that we can understand and navigate some of these obstacles that we run into. Plus, we're asking them to problem solve. We're asking them to communicate. We're asking them to take accountability and be responsible for their actions. I mean, there's so many moving pieces to this that at the end of the day, the kids that when they do walk out of here are so far ahead of the curve. I mean, there are adults that can't navigate some of the things that we are asking these teens to do. So for me, that's huge. And I think it's important when you kind of put it in that perspective for the kids, and even with the direct care mentors, is they start to look at things a little differently. They're like, yeah, that's true, because we kind of sometimes get caught up in it as like, hey, this is a role and you need to do it. Why is it a role and why do they need to do it? Let's approach it differently. Let's invite them to make a choice. Let's invite them to do the right thing. Let's ask them what they think that right choice should be versus power struggling and saying, oh, it has to be done. No, it doesn't have to be done. Let's have a conversation on how we can do it together. I don't give up easily. I think what I bring to the table and how I kind of role model and teach and engage the kids is that, I'm here to support, and I know that there's hope. And, when it gets hard, those are the things that I always draw back to is, why am I doing what I do? It always comes down to the kids. It always comes down to, they're young. Their minds are not completely developed. There's hope, and that hope in itself brings me hope. We'll get through this. We're gonna manage this. Let's just continue to talk about it. Don't bottle it up. At the end of the day, you just can't command or demand certain things. You have to move with the student. And as an adult and experience education and everything else that we come from, those kids aren't there yet. And so I have to remember that constantly is that, I'm coming into it as an adult. I need to meet you where you're at. I need to be on your level and walk that walk with you. So we try to do some life skill development. In our bubble, it's secure, it's safe, it's predictable. But it's important to kind of get some reality checks. Why do we do certain things here and how does that pertain to the real world? But life skill development, teaching them how to write a resume, how to balance a checkbook. These are life skills. Our rec program's amazing. I think anytime that we can engage the kids outside the bubble is so important, because those successes outside the bubble really make a difference inside the bubble. I love what I do. I believe in what we do. I do have a passion for it because I truly believe that change is possible for anybody. And I think that's why I keep coming back, is that when that light bulb comes on and that change does happen, we all have a small part in that. So.